So we've had reason to believe that perhaps he has. We have a couple. We're a 65-acre farm with 50 acres on the backside. So my husband and I live in the center of the woods. That is about a mile and a half from the prison. Saturday evening, we heard some very strange things in the woods. Saw some things on our cameras, and we did alert police. We have been working with agents and police. And then this morning, there is a kind of treehouse clubhouse that has been shut for some time, that has a door that's been shut due to the safety of our 5-year-old, and it was kind of shoved open, which would take some force, brute force to shove that open. So we ended up we called one of the troopers and we took them off, and they did come up again and search the property. But we do have several nooks and crannies. We have 3 barns, hay lofts, horse trailers. There are 3 houses on the property, so we're taking precautions.
Well, on the trail, the one camera at the barn, we saw what we think was a flashlight coming through. The officers took our video back. They claim it was some bugs. I guess they're worried about the safety of the kids. I can't blame that. Who's to say? Kids at the bus stop, he comes through. I don't know. I think it's best the schools do stay closed. Kids stay home. They encourage everyone to lock their doors, windows, so forth. We've been trying to help the officers when they come up here. We grew up here our whole life. We've hunted and as kids played in the woods all around here. And I gave a lot of the officers suggestions, like if I was on the loose running through these woods, this is the way I would go. This is where I would hide. We've been trying to help them out in that respect. I ran across a bunch of U.S. Marshals earlier today, and I was talking to them, and I said, "Where are you guys out of?" And they said, "Philadelphia." And I said, "Okay, well, I've grown up here my whole life, and like I just said, I talked to them a while about, like, if I was on the loose, this is where I would go. This is which way I would head." Yeah. They said, yeah, you're very helpful. I told them, the stream beds and stuff like that. If you want to stay hidden, you're not going to find you go in that direction.
Well, and there's a lot of drainage pipes underneath the main road that they have blocked off that are pretty, you could get in there pretty easily. There's a lot of retainage ponds that have the drainage pipes. So the biggest reason for the school closures are because of the road closures. So this whole area within a half a mile to mile radius has been blocked off, and there's staff that can't get to schools. There's children that can't get to schools. There's school buses that can't get to schools. They did say that if there were school buses in the area that had to go through these roads and these closures, they would have an escort, which is very comforting. Honestly, I would still probably drive my child to school and make sure he went through this locked doors. As a mom, I want to make sure I can see him go through those locked doors, and then he does half days, so I can see him come out of those locked doors and right into my locked truck. And we carry, so we are protecting ourselves adequately on the farm here, and we are taking shifts. We're up every hour and a half. We do have several security cameras around the facility itself, so we can kind of get some angles and see what's going on. And we get those security cameras on our phones. We have monitors in our house and that sort of thing. So our neighbors are being very cooperative. Everybody's being super cooperative. Police and agents are being very friendly with us. They're being cooperative with us as well. So there is a big team and group effort here about what's going on. I know a couple people they have Ring cameras. The one neighborhood, Water Glen, that was broken into is walking distance. They actually had a chopper yesterday that had his mother's voice in Portuguese, and they had made a press release that they were going to be flying the chopper eventually. I was sitting at my desk, and I said, "What is that noise? What is that?" And I went out on my deck, and sure enough, the chopper was flying around, and it was his mother's voice, and she was very distressed, crying, screaming over an intercom. And they flew it around for about an hour and a half. It was 2 hours constantly playing her voice, asking for a plea of surrender to police. So that was a little chilling.